Toxic relationships are like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. It's a chilling reality that many people find themselves in, and it's not always as evident as you might think. That's right, not all toxic relationships come with glaring red flags or dramatic episodes. Sometimes the toxicity is subtle, manipulative, and insidiously seeping into the dynamics of the relationship. In trying to understand the complex world of toxic relationships, we must first learn to recognize their various forms. It's not just about physical abuse, which is unfortunately a grim reality for some. Toxicity can also be emotional or mental, and these forms are often harder to spot, yet they can leave deep scars. Emotional toxicity might look like a partner who constantly belittles you, making you feel small or unworthy. It could be a constant cycle of criticism and humiliation, with a sprinkle of just kidding to mask the hurt. It's the constant tug-of-war between love and disdain, affection and neglect. Mental toxicity, on the other hand, is a master of disguise. It's the gaslighting partner who makes you question your own sanity. It's the manipulative tactics that make you second-guess your decisions and feelings. It's the constant control and dominance over your thoughts and actions, leaving you feeling trapped in your own mind. And let's not forget about the physical abuse. It's a harsh reality that some people face daily, living in fear of their partner's next outburst. It's the violent episodes followed by apologies and promises that it won't happen again, only for the cycle to repeat. That's the unseen trap of toxic relationships. They're not always overt. They're often cloaked in manipulation, control, and deceit. They're the relationships that drain you emotionally, mentally, and sometimes physically, yet you find yourself unable to leave. And that brings us to the million-dollar question. Toxic relationships are a reality for many, but why do people stay in them even when they cause so much pain? The human mind is a complex network of emotions, thoughts, and perceptions, often leading us to make decisions that may not always be in our best interest. Let's dissect the psychology behind why people stay in toxic relationships. Fear, low self-esteem, guilt, and a sense of obligation. These are the invisible shackles that bind us to toxicity. Fear is a powerful motivator. It can stem from a fear of loneliness, a fear of the unknown, or even a fear of retaliation from the partner. This fear is often so overwhelming that it paralyzes us, making the idea of leaving seem impossible. Then there's low self-esteem. It's a silent tormentor that whispers in our ears that we are not worthy of better, that we don't deserve love and respect. This corrosive belief can make us settle for less, accepting the unacceptable because we believe it's all we can get. Guilt is another factor that keeps us anchored in unhealthy relationships. We might feel guilty for wanting to leave, for wanting more, or for causing pain to the other person. We might even feel guilty for the toxicity itself, blaming ourselves for the other person's behavior. Finally, we come to the sense of obligation. We might feel obliged to stay because of shared responsibilities, kids, or simply because we've been together for a long time. We might feel that leaving would be a betrayal, a breaking of promises, a failing on our part. These factors, combined with the complexities of our minds, create a potent brew that keeps us stuck in toxic relationships. But remember, these are not inescapable traps. They are merely patterns of thought and feeling that can be understood, challenged, and changed. With the right help and support, we can learn to recognize these patterns, to question them, and ultimately, to break free from them. We can learn to value ourselves, to overcome our fears, to make decisions out of love for ourselves, not out of fear or guilt or obligation. Understanding the psychological reasons behind why we stay is the first step towards breaking free from the chains of toxicity. Like a wolf in sheep's clothing, toxicity often hides behind a facade of love and care. Toxicity can be an insidious beast, creeping in unnoticed until it's taken root.